Deep within the archives of Naples, a faded record whispers a secret. It speaks of a magnificent tomb hidden away in a private chapel, adorned with symbols that don't belong on Italian soil. Two silent sphinxes guard a nobleman's eternal slumber, while a fearsome dragon's head crowns the stone knight's helmet. For centuries, this opulent tomb was overlooked, a beautiful, but anonymous piece of history. Then, in 2014, researchers decided to look closer. Using advanced technology to decipher the weathered, hidden epitaph, a single, impossible word was finally revealed: Vlad. This name didn't belong in Naples, it belonged to a much darker story. It's a history written in blood across the Carpathian Mountains, the tale of a prince whose very name meant terror, Vlad Tepes, the Impaler. The world remembers him by a more sinister name, Dracula. For 500 years, his grave has been sought throughout Romania. Every clue, every whispered legend, has led to a dead end. Official history tells us he was killed in battle, his head sent to the Ottoman Sultan as a gruesome trophy, his headless body abandoned in the dark woods. But what if the official history is just a story, a lie crafted to hide the truth? What if his body was never left for the wolves? What if it was secretly rescued in a daring mission? Could the final resting place of this cruel ruler really be in Italy? This isn't just a legend. It's an investigation that leads to a tomb that could change everything we know. For 5 long centuries, Vlad's final resting place has remained one of history's greatest mysteries. His name echoes through the haunted past of Eastern Europe, invoking images of ruthless justice and terrifying tyranny. Born in 1431, Vlad's life was defined by ceaseless, brutal conflict. He ruled his homeland during a period of relentless violence as the vast Ottoman Empire expanded aggressively into Europe. His fierce determination to protect his land came at a terrible cost, forging a dual reputation as both a national hero and a bloodthirsty monster. His preferred method of punishment, impalement on long stakes, was designed to strike absolute fear into the hearts of his enemies, serving as a grim warning against betrayal. To his people, he was a powerful, unwavering protector. To outsiders, especially the Ottomans, he was a devil in human form. It was Bram Stoker's novel that would forever twist this history, linking Vlad with the supernatural. Stoker's famous vampire count was only loosely inspired by the Wallachian prince, but this literary creation cemented Vlad's place in the realm of horror. The novel also buried the historical man under layers of myth and fantasy. Countless expeditions have searched for his true tomb over the years, from misty Romanian valleys to forgotten monasteries. But every determined effort has been met with frustrating failure. The complete lack of physical evidence turned the search into something of a legend in itself. But recently, incredible discoveries have breathed new life into this ancient quest. A forgotten crypt, far from Vlad's homeland, now holds the promise of an answer. But how could his remains have traveled so far from home? To understand, we have to return to the man's final, violent days. Vlad's end was as bloody as his life. In the autumn of 1476, he faced his last great challenge, a brutal, raging battle against overwhelming Ottoman forces. Some historical sources suggest he was betrayed on the battlefield, ambushed by his own soldiers. His head was severed and sent to Constantinople, where it was displayed on a spike as a symbol of Ottoman victory. But the fate of his body remained a complete and unsolved mystery. For centuries, it was widely believed his remains were buried at Snagov Monastery, a serene island fortress that seemed a fitting final resting place for a prince. However, historical records from that era are strangely, frustratingly silent on the matter. Archaeologists have excavated the monastery grounds time and time again, searching for any proof. But these digs have only deepened the enduring mystery. Rumors of other potential burial sites are scattered across the region, leading some to believe his final resting place was deliberately hidden from view, protected from his enemies even in death. Now, new technology is slowly peeling back the layers of time. The first major search for his tomb began back in 1931. Romanian archaeologists focused their work on the Snagov Monastery, hoping to finally put the rampant speculation to rest. The excavation, however, ended in crushing disappointment. The tomb they opened contained only animal bones and the skeleton of an unknown person. It wasn't Vlad, but this failure wasn't the end. It was the start of a new, radical direction. What if the prince's remains never rested in Romania at all? What if the centuries-old assumptions were all wrong? The trail that led investigators to Naples was woven from historical whispers and forgotten family ties. A key figure emerges from the shadows of history, Maria Balsa. She was Vlad's supposed illegitimate daughter, a hidden child who fled the chaos and violence following her father's death. She found sanctuary from his dark legacy in Italy, where she was taken in by the noble Farillo family of Naples. The theory suggests that she smuggled her father's bones with her, determined to save them from desecration. In dusty archives, researchers found a strange connection. The tomb in the Santa Maria la Nova chapel, belonging to the family that took Maria in, had some very specific details. The tomb, a masterpiece of craftsmanship, is topped with a knight's helmet crowned by a dragon. This is a powerful and direct symbol of the Order of the Dragon, the chivalric order to which Vlad's own father belonged. In fact, the name Dracula itself means son of the dragon. This seems to be a deliberate and unmistakable heraldic reference. Two mysterious sphinx-like statues also stand guard on either side of the tomb, their symbolism puzzling scholars for decades. These figures often serve as guardians in ancient mythologies, symbolizing a crossroads of cultures. Then, in 2014, the tomb's inscriptions received serious new attention. An international team of researchers began a detailed study, using advanced imaging technology to analyze the weathered stone carvings. They discovered what appeared to be a coded message, hidden in plain sight. After months of painstaking work, two words stood out: Vlad and Balkan. This seemed to confirm a direct link to the feared warlord. However, mainstream historians met this theory with deep skepticism. The idea of Vlad the Impaler being buried in Naples was simply too shocking, too outlandish to accept. But a new chapter in this epic search had already begun. In the 2020s, a new team returned to the chapel, this time armed with ground-penetrating radar. They scanned the entire floor around the mysterious tomb. The results they found were nothing short of stunning. They discovered an unrecorded, sealed chamber directly below the floor. This hidden crypt had remained untouched for centuries. Inside, they found fragments of an ancient, decaying coffin and the remains of richly colored fabric. But the most thrilling discovery of all was a small lead plate, inscribed with the words Vlad and Balkan once again. It was silent testimony, a physical link between the tomb above and the hidden chamber below. The finding revealed a deep narrative of secrecy and desperate preservation, a secret mission to protect a prince's remains from his enemies. If this discovery holds, it's completely revolutionary. It shatters the long-held story of Vlad's dishonorable, lonely death. Instead, we see a story of incredible loyalty and careful strategy, a legacy preserved by devoted allies in a foreign land. The next crucial step is, of course, DNA analysis. This process is incredibly difficult and fraught with challenges, from contamination to the degradation of ancient genetic material. Without solid genetic proof, the Naples theory remains just that, a compelling theory. But the symbolic weight of this discovery is undeniable. It has reignited a global fascination with the historical Vlad, proving that sometimes the truth can be far more compelling than fiction. If DNA analysis confirms this is indeed Vlad the Impaler, the history books will have to be rewritten. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey into the past. What do you think? Could the real Dracula be buried in Italy? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love uncovering historical mysteries, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. We'll see you next time.